Alright, I know I'm probably going to get a little bit of hate on this one. So this stuff right here, well, the dealers around here, they're not open on Sundays. Some of them, most of them are probably open on Saturdays. But what happens if you have a coolant leak and you have a Toyota and you don't have this special antifreeze? Well, I've read tons of times, tons of different places about changing coolant. You know, Dexcool's not a good coolant. So I just wanted to bring up the discussion. Is changing coolant types okay? And if so, what type of coolants are good to be used? For example, if you're replacing Dexcool, if you go to a lot of guys' channels, they're just going to put what was in the vehicle. They're going to replace it with Toyota if they're taking out Toyota. In this case, this car right here, it was mixed with 3 different things. It starts looking brown, really. So I'm just letting you guys know we're switching it out. We can use the green. This stuff's supposed to mix with any color antifreeze. When you're changing out the water pump, as we're doing now, there's drains on the block on most of the engines. Sometimes they're hard to get to. Drain all that out. This pulls right out. Drain that out. There's a petcock down there. There's a petcock down there. We drain all that out, and then we'll just flush. I'll come up here. I'll pour some water through down there. Let it flush down through the petcock. Close the petcock. We could pressure test this. I could pressure test. I could pressure test this as opposed to the Toyota Sienna. This is the same engine and everything, but you don't have the access to do it. We're going to do it with this one just to be sure, and or we could just fill it up, make sure it's working properly and everything like that. But I just wanted to open discussion on what you guys think about switching coolant types. I know a lot of people are going to say just stick with the original fluid. I do not recommend mixing fluids. Like that says it can be mixed with anything. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to mix these two. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to get as much of this out as I can. I'm not going to mix it, but I will get as much of it out of the system as possible and then replace it with the other one. And if you look at the ingredients on this stuff right here, though, it says ethylene glycol, right? And then diethylene glycol. And then you look at this other stuff over here, and I can guarantee it's probably going to be the same exact type of thing. I can't really see. Doesn't say exactly. There it is. Ethylene glycol, diethylene glycol. So it's basically the same exact thing as this. It's just this is a different color, and it has its own little characteristics that Toyota uses, and it probably may or may not be, you know, better for a Toyota, but they're the same exact thing in my opinion. Ethylene glycol, diethylene glycol. It says you can mix it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to mix this with Dexcool. I'm not going to mix it with anything. If I'm going to change the coolant, I'm going to change the coolant. I'm going to drain most of it out as I can, and then I'm going to replace it. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? It's an acceptable thing to do? Is it acceptable? I mean, I've done it to plenty of cars, and these were my own cars, most of the cars that I've done this to, and they ran hundreds of thousands of miles without having any leaks, any problems, any corrosions, anything like that. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that? Is it an acceptable practice, or is it not acceptable? And if so, is Dexcool, you know, is it a good idea to get rid of Dexcool? I know Dexcool's not good, man. I've changed head gaskets. Dexcool just seems like it eats it away. Anyways, go ahead and leave your comments down below so we have a discussion about this. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe.